Hello and welcome to another episode of CowTech. I'm your host, Adam Ross, and to my virtual left, Tyler. What is going on?
Adam, how are you tonight? How is everybody going?
Man, not too shabby. Sorry about the little delay. We were having a problem with the link on Facebook. Hopefully everybody is okay.
Well, so talking about that, right? So speaking of, we always forget to say this, and it's a good segue into that is if you're on Instagram, get over to Facebook and YouTube, so that way you can join in on the hashtag action and get yourself one of our nice prizes that we're going to give away tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you'll see the Instagram is working, but if you comment on the Instagram, it doesn't work as well. But
right.
Man, as you can see, I've been posting on the fan page today, which is pretty darn cool. And I've been kind of doing some sneak peeks about what's kind of going on and basically trying to set the stage, kind of set the tone, maybe set the mood of what's going to go on with our wrench session tonight.
That's right. Yeah, getting back to our roots. So, going back, we're on episode 70. I mean, it's hard to believe. I think it's been like 2.5 years. We were almost up on 3 years. I think this coming March will be our third year, and we're on episode 70. And, we go down these rabbit holes of, all these awesome new, product releases. We do, charity builds, which wink, wink, we're going to start doing one of those here coming up in the next month or so. But we oftentimes kind of want to go back to where we started, right? Is interacting with the fans, answering comments and questions, and just wrenching on stuff. And so that's what Adam and I are really all about today.
Oh, yeah. If you guys have been following along on the fan page today, I thought we were going to do something, but we got unleashed and unchained to have as much fun as we want today. So we're going to go kicking it back old school. And one of the giveaways is we've been getting a lot of requests about our shirt. So we're going to be giving away a shirt for sure. And thank you, man. I appreciate that. It's taken some work, but we are going to give away a shirt tonight. And one lucky viewer is going to get all garbed up. But we've been pre-gaming, as you can say, in the virtual world. And we got a couple new camera angles that we're kind of excited to try out tonight. Haven't been done yet. So we're going to go live for you guys and kind of just, start ripping some stuff apart. Tyler's got the crawler front portal on the bench right now. I have a whole gamut of stuff. I got the whole bench all the way down, and you guys will get a little sneak peek of that in a sec, but definitely gonna have some fun tonight working with you guys. And we know here in Canada, the weather's just getting, oh man, I hate to even say it, but a little nipply. It's getting chilly in Canada, okay? And I'm not ready for the cold just yet. I'm definitely missing all my RC peeps, and thankfully we have the Windsor RC Area Club renting out some of the I don't know what you guys would call them in the States, but I guess they would be like convention centers and halls and stuff like that.
Sure, yeah, that's what we call them. Yeah.
Okay, we don't have a permanent spot, so they've been nice enough to rent out a few halls, set it up for the Saturday, Sunday, and then have to tear it down Sunday after the event. So I give those guys a huge attaboy and attagirl, and thank everybody for helping them out, because I know how much work it takes to pull that off.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah. And if anybody wants to comment any of the events coming up or what you guys are wrenching on right now, we would love to hear from you guys. Definitely want to see what's going on in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, and if you guys have something like questions as we're going through this and recommendations, or just saying, hey, I mean, like we talked about, there's not always just one way to do in a maintenance type of item. There's different products, and like Adam and I are doing this. We're really kind of going through the same parts as kind of a general bones of an RC, which I've got a front front axle assembly. So we got the portals, gearbox, all that type of stuff. And then, Adam's going to kind of go through the off-road racing version of that. And as like we talked about, there's different ways to maintain, these parts using the CowRC products, just different ways. So love to hear what you guys are doing.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun. Obviously, I have one ripped apart across the way, and that was going to be kind of my demo. But since we got gave it the thumbs up to kind of mess around and wrench with you guys, I'm super curious. Oh, see, yeah, I love that, man. Working on the electric buggy, listening to the show, love that. Checking in from Indiana, super cool. And then Vinny, oh yeah, I know Vinny. He's rocking the S-Work, same as me. So basically has the shocks rebuilt. And you can see I have my kid's shock on the shock stance. Just pulled it out of the sonic cleaner. And I'm going to actually show you step by step how I do that. So what is going on? Johnny Miller, Curious Tyler, had said something about going to Psycho Nitro. Oh. So that's a good segue. I love the question, Johnny. Yes, we are looking at the date for Psycho Nitro. I've been told that they're going to be posting that up probably on November 17th. So once we get the official date, we are going to converse with Mr. Heat Mascow himself, and we are looking to both go. I think it would be epic to have him come into our world now. So definitely excited to do that. With
that one's been on my bucket list for a while. So like I actually entered in for the 2020 race, and as you guys know how that one ended up turning out, didn't happen. Actually, they might have postponed it actually for later in the year, if I remember right. But I had booked the hotel, travel plans, everything, and then COVID happened. And so I canceled all the plans. And so now is an opportunity for me to potentially go back. So I'm looking forward to that. It's always been on my bucket list.
Heck yeah. Look at how many people are in. Fish and Bill. Oh, man. Okay, so Fish and Bill. Now that I've been into this crawler scene, I think I've been getting a lot more links on the crawler aspects. That last rig that you did with the flaming paint job, that's all slam. Double thumbs up on that thing, man. I am thoroughly impressed. I don't know what the heck it is, but I think it looks super capable, and I love the stance. Definitely super cool. Man, lots of people tuning in. I love it.
Yeah,
so
I like it. Some new faces.
We got people from Texas, Indiana, Michigan. I got a whole bunch of people coming on board right now and working on stuff. Just got into Mini Z, and the CowRC products are making my ride super smooth. Utter butter on everything. Definitely super cool. Oh, yeah. I've been able to try the micros and the Mini Zs. Definitely a fun class to get into. I love the scale. That is for sure.
Well, yeah, on those Mini Zs, I mean, you might want to try some thinner, grease. So like the ultralight grease coating on those Mini Zs, those are a lot smaller. So you might want to start trying, the ultralight grease or even the fine, graphite coating as well. So that's something you want to try, kind of maybe loosen up that resistance a little bit too. Utter butter, I use that a lot on crawlers, just because resistance isn't really so much what I'm looking for. More it's just kind of longevity of lubrication. So just kind of a tip, you might want to try that out and just see how it works for you. That
is an awesome tip. And Vinny, you were asking about how to get on the CowTech team, CowRC team. If you check out, we have a video for that. I believe it was an older episode. Do you remember what episode that was?
I don't, but Vinny, what I can tell you is that what you want to do is you want to start, well, I know you have been posting, so I think I've seen some of your posts, but keep posting on the CowRC fans page. So our recruitment is 365 days a year. So we don't have like a specific period that we add drivers or remove drivers or anything like that. It's just all the time. And so where we get that is, I think right now we have like 54 drivers on the team. And we basically get those recruits from the fans page. So whether they meet us at an event and talk to us about it, and we encourage them to go on the fans page, post up, show us what you got. I mean, that's really what we're looking for is an entry, as an entry factory team driver is good content. So we're looking for good pictures, good write-ups, creativity, just nice, nice uses of the products and demonstrating your knowledge of the products and sharing that with all the customers. And so you do that enough, you're obviously going to get yourself attention. And then you can also reach out to our team recruiter, Mike Panacchia.
Yeah, he just commented.
Oh, did he? Good.
Yeah, episode 7, bud.
Episode 7, thank you. Man, that was a long time ago.
I know.
Maybe we need to do another one of those. We might need to. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, cool. and honestly, I can't wait because now that the indoor series is upon us, I know the guys from Michigan are starting their indoor series, which is the Fuzz Brawl. I think they do 4 events total. And they do it inside of a church. It is such an epic event. And I know that Mike was there last time I went. I believe that a couple CowRC drivers were actually there last time, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm gearing up for the indoor, getting my 2-wheel drive and ATM. Aw, my beautiful wife is jumping on board here.
Yeah, so check out episode 7. If anybody has any questions about that, and you can always hit up Adam and I. As I always say, I don't get enough messages from you guys. So whether it's questions about getting a position on the factory team, our products, what I'm working on, whatever, just shoot me a message on Facebook. It's I enjoy interacting with the fans and hoping I can help out.
Yeah, it was definitely a great time, and I can't wait to race with you again. I've seen you've been killing it on the indoor, so I think once I get my new 2-wheel drive buggy, I know who to talk to for setup help and stuff like that. But before we start wrenching, I have to give a pro tip, and as you can see here, it's really small, but I have a setup sheet. And once you start digging in, and as deep of a dive as I'm about to show you guys, I want you to make sure that you have your notes here and you actually have a setup sheet. If you don't have it written down, it's going to make it extremely hard to get it back to the same way that you had it when you first pulled it down. Now, I'm going to start pulling apart everything live for you guys while we're answering the questions and stuff like that, but definitely want to make sure I put that tip out there first before we started ripping in to the vehicles, because I would hate for you to start ripping it apart, get so far, go to start putting it back together and having a pill here, a pill there, and like your ride height's wrong, and you'll be like, Adam told me to clean it, now I don't know how to put it back. So definitely,
it's like back in math class, you got to show your work.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't hurt. Another thing that I saw somebody message me before, I've been using the Dialed app. I'm not going to lie. I used to be old school and photocopy these and do all that stuff. Now it's just so easy to do it on your phone. And when you make changes and save it, it's so much easier. So I've been using the Dial app. It's really cool, and definitely been having a lot of fun with that for sure. If you want to zoom in on yours, do we want to show them the 4? Or I don't know. Like,
let's go to the 4. Let's go to the 4 camera. It's something new we haven't really messed with before. We thought it'd be appropriate, for this type of work we're doing.
So we're gonna
there's always so many good different angles to show what we're doing. Between what Adam and I thought was it would be nice to show what we're doing here on both right up in front and overhead. That way we got both angles, and you're kind of showing off what we're doing here. That way it makes sense. You guys can stop us what we're doing, and we'll try to kind of keep going. We're trying to kind of keep this parallel as far as going through crawler and off-road racing, trying to show you guys, because everybody's interested in different stuff. Sorry, boat guys, we don't have anything out there for you yet, but this is what you're getting.
So basically, I have now multiple cameras, so I can actually show you guys what I'm going to be doing. And that is his racing body. This is his practice body. And this is what we left, all nice and messy. And you can see how dirty this puppy still is. So I'm going to be going through and kind of showing off what I was doing on the fan page for you guys live. And then that way you guys can kind of ask and see exactly what I go through for my maintenance regime. It is super easy. I love just to sit here, wrench, and tinker, but having the extra angles definitely helps out. Yeah, no, I appreciate that, guys. It definitely makes it a little bit easier for us to do and gives you guys the views, because it's so hard doing it behind the scenes that you guys are going to see how appreciative we are being able to do it with multiple different views instead of having to worry about getting the right angle. So
yes,
I'm going to start digging in. Yeah.
Oh, you loan me a boat? Okay, fair enough. Maybe I could take one apart. I got my nephew a toy boat, toy remote control boat, and he's had it for like a year, and it wasn't working for him. So of course Uncle Tyler comes to the rescue and fixes it. And I was like, and I was wrenching on it. I'm like, this is the first time I've ever wrenched on an RC boat, and it was a toy grade, boat. So yeah. I need some practice on those hobby grade boats.
Yeah, and one of the things that I want to let everybody know, Tyler's rocking the inserts on his carbon mat, where I'm still a traditionalist. I love me. These things are the best. I can have multiple different things stacked up, and when I go to the other thing, I always start in the bottom left-hand corner and work my way up, and then on the rear, I have it on the bottom right-hand corner and work my way up. So then that way, when it goes back together, it's so much easier for me.
See, and I'm kind of like a little different, where I like to work in small compartments. So here's what I'm working on. So this is a capper axle, so an axial capper axle with portal gears. And so I was going through my RC collection, and we talked about this ahead of time of the show. 2 weeks ago, and said, hey, what do we want to talk about? And so he said, hey, you know what? It's getting, seasons are changing. People are changing, different RC genres. They might be just, putting their vehicles up for the winter because it's too darn cold and they don't want to deal with it. And so he said, hey, you know what? Let's go through a maintenance episode. And so he said, well, how are we going to do it? Because, Adam's in racing, I'm into crawling. And we said, well, let's do both at the same time. Right. So the reason I chose this capper axle is, for one, it was surprising. So I did a sneak peek of it before I got on the show, because I wanted to make sure I didn't have any Loctite issues. I wanted to make sure, I could get it apart so it was working well for us on the show, but I didn't do any cleaning. So what you're seeing is really what it's been through. And to my surprise, this truck has not been touched for quite a while. And I'll explain why I can tell that is, other than it's dirty, but you can actually, I've still got some of the old green udder butter in here. So that's how long, so you can kind of see at the bearing there. That's how long it's been since I've maintained this. So shame on me. And it's a darn good thing that we're having this episode today, because it gives me an excuse to clean it and do what I should have done. But, I use my trucks just kind of based on what I feel like doing at the time. And this one has not gotten that love. It's been used a lot, but hasn't gotten the maintenance love. So that's what we're doing today. And I'm going to kind of go through as Adam is and show you, what we're working with here.
Yeah, that is an awesome thing. Yeah. And there is a few other people that I'm putting my outdoor vehicles up and getting the carbon vehicles. Johnny, you read my mind, bud. I am in the same transition period as we speak, man. We're getting ready to do the carpet racing. We're going to be hitting up a couple Michigan tracks, and I am going to start supporting my local guys, and they are doing the on-road carpet as well. So you'll get to see a whole bunch of different content from me, running both off-road and on-road, basically indoor now.
Oh, good. Yeah, so what I'm going to kind of start doing here is I'm going to start degreasing these things. So what I generally do is I try to get like a base. So you got, see, I have my ultrasonic cleaner. So this is the ultrasonic cleaner that has a stainless steel basin in it. So I've got it all loaded up with a nice mixture of some part and chassis wash in it. And I'd say this stuff smells great because I like the way it just smells. Like it has a nice citrusy flavor to it. So I put it in here, you know, before the show, kind of get everything set up here. And really what I wanted to do is I want to start getting all these items out of here and getting them laid out. And I like I said, I like kind of doing things slower, and I like doing things in small pieces. So I try to take, I would say I start in half, right? So I'm going to kind of take off the right side here first, get it disassembled, and I'm going to have to, you know, degrease it. So that's what I'm going to kind of get going here. Get ready to start degreasing. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to use, and that's why I'm using the Carbon Series mats, because I'm going to use the cleaner and degreaser to start degreasing this guy, because it is got, and it's, I mean, if you can see just the axle housing. So I wanted to kind of show, yeah, you can see that on there. So just, I mean, honestly, I have not cleaned this very well. I mean, you see it, it's just got nasty old dirt and grease. And I'll tell you some of the other stuff. So, you know, the CV axles, right? So pulled that out of here. You know, so CV axles, they don't look too bad, but they are super greasy. And I'll tell you, probably the reason it is because, again, how long it's been is since before we had the ultralight grease. I'm probably using other butter on this. So that's why it's so like clunky and gummy. So it's just got dirt caked in it. So it's really, it's the nice thing about, you know, I mentioned a little bit ago by someone's comment about the Mini Zs is our products are changing and evolving. So something that I've used in the past, it works great for lubrication, but it picks up dirt. So we're going to do something totally different. So really what I'm going to do, you know, so I've got a drive shaft here. It's kind of nasty and gummy too. You know, it just looks bad. Everything just looks bad. It's just covered in grease. It's all actually really lubricated well because, you know, even though that this is probably, gosh, it could have been a year or more since I really took this thing apart, it still smells like udder butter, still smells like the ultralight grease in the places that I use it at. So it's really working well. It's just super dirty and needs to be cleaned. So that's what we're going to work on. We're just going to work on degreasing everything, pulling all these gears out of here. I don't have my good tool to pull out the bearings. So I might have to unfortunately, not going to be able to do these ones the way I want to because I don't have my good bearing tool, but we're going to work with what we got here.
Joe has an awesome thing. I don't mean to cut you off, but just keep Joe in the mix. He is asking about a CowRC commercial that his hobby shop, RCHQ Radio Control Headquarters in San Antonio, Texas. So I'm thinking he's asking if there's an actual commercial. Well, we're going to be talking about it, but they got in the new product pages, and I will show it right before we do the links and stuff like that. But the product pages that I like are definitely pretty cool because now what they're doing is they're actually throwing on all of the videos on how to use each individual product. So if you message me, PM me, I will send you links, Joe, to the actual content for you, and you can see for sure. I will definitely help you out with that. Oh, there! I love that, man.
Yep, it's gonna spray a little bit of this on. Kind of, I'll pre degreasing, right? So giving these a little bit of a better chance here. So what I'm going to do is I'm really just kind of prepping everything to throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner. And I've probably said this many times before is the thing I love about the ultrasonic cleaner is that you can throw your parts in there, push the start button, and it just goes. And you can move on to the other section, which is what I'm going to do. And actually, I'm going to probably start going into the diff and taking off the third member and digging into that is while this ultrasonic cleaner is going to go. And so then I can kind of go back and put it all back together and kind of go through in stages. But really what I did here is I took the Mu-Clean clear and degreaser and just sprayed all these parts off. What it's doing is just kind of getting all the I'll call it the hard greases off here. It's not, not going to take everything off at once. It's probably one of my favorite products. It does a great job. Again, it's electronic safe, or I should say really, it is 100% electronic safe. So you don't have to worry about your electronics getting sprayed by this stuff, but it works fantastic on gears, any type of greases you want to remove. I mean, look at this already here.
So it's super clean. I
can do that. There we go. My coordination was off there, but I mean, it's already kind of taken all of that old udder butter out of here, out of this portal axle or portal gear housing. So you can see on the back side here, it's still nasty because I haven't wiped it off yet, but start wiping it and it looks better. So I'm going to throw that in here. Good. Some of the bearings came out. Perfect. And I'm going to throw it in the part and chassis wash here. Get this drive shaft in here and the outer portal cover. Give it a little wipe.
Joe, look at that.
Throw it in there. So, I mean, look how much stuff fit in there. I mean, quite a bit of my parts. And so, always remember, so you see I'm throwing in, I'm spraying degreaser on my bearings. I'm spraying, putting them in a clean solution. And I'll show you, about that, about re-greasing these things. So we're going to get this thing started. Put on for a few minutes. Hopefully, does the sound bad on my end at all, Adam?
No, it's pretty quiet, surprisingly. Yeah, okay. we are all good. So, yeah, look at that, Joe. Just message Heath, and he will hook you up with what you need. I was using a jump drive to get our content to play on a loop on the when we were out at the event. So it was pretty cool. All right, so what I did was I actually pulled the front clip completely off. So I have the whole front clip completely off. And you can see I'm running the new udder butter now. This thing's been pulled apart probably a gazillion times. But you can see it's still in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to also throw mine into the sonic cleaner because, man, the sonic cleaner is just one of those things that you can't live without. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put this aside. I'm going to use my hide wipe, which is one of my favorite things. I'm just going to wipe down the chassis quickly here at the tail end of it and at the tip just to get the grease off and the old udder butter. There you go. So now you can see that. I'm just going to put this aside, and I'm going to show you how to do the electronics later, kind of like what Tyler just showed you, which is awesome because not a lot of people know that it is completely electronic safe. So I got these two drive shafts, so I'm just going to plop those into the sonic cleaner right now. And then I also have the center diff. That is going in as well. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start ripping apart so I can get to the diff.
And I can't believe when I opened this up, I could not believe I still had the green udder butter in here. I'm trying to show it off on the camera for those of you who've been with us for a long time and can see
yeah,
it's still in here, which is amazing to me.
So one of the other things that I always throw in the sonic cleaner are the hinge pins. Super important to make sure that your hinge pins are lubricated and like basically well maintained. Another thing I always do is I always check for trueness. I put them on a straight, flat surface and make sure that they are perfectly straight. And then I just throw them into the sonic cleaner as well. Another thing that I always do on a teardown of this magnitude is I always grab all of my pills. I put all my pills aside, and this is the opportunity to go through them and check just to make sure that they're good, bad, bent, chipped, anything, because it's such a great tool for tuning, but it's also one of those things that could end a race really quickly if you don't maintain and take care of them. So I always put my pills aside, and again, just check, make sure that there's no damage there. That goes right into the sonic cleaner, and you kind of just set it and forget it. The next thing is obviously the shocks. And just remember on most of the 8-scale applications, the left-handed thread on the passenger side is always something I like to remind people, because you don't want to strip it, especially if you're using an electric drill like myself.
Yes. Well, so do you use thread locker on your stuff, Adam? I mean, I would assume not, because you're probably mostly plastic, right?
Correct. The only thing I use thread locker on is anything metal to metal.
Yep.
So like, so like when I'm bolting it to the aluminum motor mounts, things like that, or bolting the motor to it, I will definitely use Loctite. You'll see up on the front clip here. So I'm just going to throw the dip in, but you can see the udder butter on here. This is the original, not the original, but like the new improved formula udder butter. And you can see it's still on there and rocking and rolling. I know me and my kids change it up quite a bit. So it's no surprise that it's the newest stuff for me. But I always like to maintain the diffs and stuff like that. But as for the thread locker, the biggest thing for me is on the front shock tower. And let me just get this shock body off, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean. I don't know if this is just unique to S-Works, but if it is, please make sure that you're doing it. Right on the front here, you have your 2 pills. And those pills are responsible for keeping the upper A-arms in. And you can see the upper shaft goes right through there. So if you don't have that Loctited in and the pills start getting loose, you can run into all types of problems. And trust me, you do not want to have your front upper A-arm fall off mid-race and have a DNF just because you forgot a little bit of Loctite.
Well, and I was going to say, so one of the things that I think is overlooked occasionally is the need to clean off the old Loctite off of your screws. So when you're going through and doing this type of maintenance, you want to make sure, that you are cleaning your old Loctite off of here. So, and I'll explain. My camera's not going to pick this up, but so no, it won't show up enough on my camera, but regardless, so these screws I took out of my steering knuckle, which were here and here. I always put a ton of thread locker on there because these things are turning, right? So these hinges are turning, steering knuckles are turning, and you don't want those screws back out. I would say out of most of my parts, that is where they come out the most. So anyways, which I could tell these screws, they came out enough, right? They weren't like stuck in there or anything like that, but it was something that I had to deal with. That's why I wanted to make sure I took this apart before I got on the show, just to make sure it was, wasn't stuck. But regardless, it wasn't stuck, but you do want to make sure you're cleaning these off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray this with a cleaner and degreaser to kind of break down some of this thread locker, so that way the threads are clean. So when I reapply the thread locker, I've got nice clean threads. I don't have this gummed up old thread locker that's going to kind of maybe get me to a place where I'm cross-threading screws or getting them really kind of just stuck in there sideways.
It's such an important tip too that I think a lot of people just take for granted. Right. Another thing with the Loctite that I wanted to mention too, inside our drive shafts in 8-scale, I'm hoping you can see that down at the bottom there. We actually have a screw that goes inside that locks the shaft on to the actual hub. So if you don't have that Loctited, you could actually lose the pin in your hub, which would just have your rim spin on the axle. So definitely super important. As for RC Man, we use the Moose Slick silicone spray. And when you clean your mat off and get it all ready to go, the last thing that I do before I put my mat away is definitely the green. The green silicone spray is the best. It makes that carbon fiber pop like you've never seen before. Even when I had a brand new mat. Tyler's got it right there.
Right here.
I would use it, and man, abuse it. I loved it.
Yeah, and it's so what you want to do is it literally is the first thing you want to do as soon as you get your carbon fiber mat is spray it with the Moose Lick silicone spray. And what that's doing is going to protect. It's going to look really cool because it's going to make all that carbon pattern on the outside really pop, but it's going to also get you kind of protected. And so, you know, when I'm putting in on, like I've soaked this mat in degreaser, right? So it's going to start drying the mat out because it is a silicone mat. It's rubber silicone mat. Or I'm sorry, it's rubber mat, not a silicone mat, but it's a rubber mat. And so you want to make sure, again, after you're finished putting in degreasers on it, you want to go ahead and reapply it later. And I just wipe it up, you know, just with a microfiber towel. You could use some tire wash to clean it up. You could use some part and chassis wash to clean it. You can use, you know, Dawn dish soap to clean it up. But you always want to make sure that you're rehydrating it, which is important with that Moose Lick silicone spray.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, I just love the look of it too, man. Because if you like that carbon fiber look, having these mats, you want to take care of them and doing that little. And it's so easy too. It just takes like a few seconds, and it really does show a difference in what it looks like even on screen. Like when you guys are at home, you guys will have a better effect for sure. Yeah, it's PVC injected molded rubber.
Man, that was way above my vocabulary.
Yeah, well, all I know is that it is ridiculously tough because, man, me and Tyler have been beating on these things for so long.
Yes.
It's not even funny.
It is my favorite mat by far. It is so versatile. I mean, it just looks awesome. I mean, especially even with the, you know, the upgrade kit that we talked about the last episode. It just looks, I mean, all this white and black just popping. It makes everything look, you know, so nice. That's why I kind of left some of the white background because that way I can kind of put some of this stuff down and show you. And maybe I can start showing you now that I've cleaned some of these parts because obviously black on black doesn't show extremely well. But, you know, we start putting in some of these parts that I've just cleaned, clean them with the cleaner degreaser, clean them with the part and chassis wash inside of the ultrasonic cleaner. Got my gears, bearings. Just pulling these out a little bit at a time here. Just little pins. Everything's really coming out nice. I'm going to try to show you up close. So not goopy anymore. So grease-free and dirt-free now for my CV axles. And I'll show you how we're going to go about treating those and re-lubricating. Because everything that I'm taking out here now has zero lubrication on it. So it's clean, but it also has zero lubrication on it. So that is where we're going next. Yeah, you got the thread locker.
I use the blue. Yeah, so Brainless was asking what's thread locker. I like using the blue because, man, the amount of times we take these things apart, you want to make sure that you have blue in there. I would only recommend using the red if you know you do not want to let it, if you don't want it to come off. Yeah.
100% agree. Yeah, there's nothing more frustrating than stripping screws and not being able to get them out. It's, to me, I'd rather have something fall out than to have to, you know, go through and strip it out later. It's not fun. And the blue is plenty strong enough to hold in everything that you need to hold in. Regardless of what you're racing on. I don't often use red. The only time I use red is if I have really like a set pin that just usually like it becomes like a drive shaft. So like usually like these drive shaft set pins that go in there, that those might be the one time I use the red thread locker. But other than that, blue is treated me really well.
Man, I can't believe the questions. These are awesome questions. And that's what we want to hear from you guys. So basically what I'm doing is I'm actually getting to the smaller bearings in my front assembly. As you can see, I pretty much filled. Let me just show you guys. Like, I mean filled my sonic cleaner. So I'm just going to throw my sonic cleaner on. I'm going to bump it up to the higher mark. But I got 2 diffs in there, 2 front drive shafts, 4 pillow balls, my hubs. I got all the pillow ball spacers. I got my drive shaft. So like that thing is massive. And what I'm going to show you is, because obviously while it's doing its thing, I'm going to kind of show off what the result is going to look like. And let me just grab that. I'll just slide up this right here just so you guys can see. And what I'm rocking in my tub right now is just the concentrate parts and chassis wash. So I love this stuff. You can actually mix it to whatever content you want. And as you can see, me and Tyler were rocking it big time at the event. And you can just spray it on, let it agitate a little bit. I'll get it on this stuff here too while we're chatting it up. And then I'll kind of show you guys exactly what I mean. This is the premix as well, which is a little bit easier to bring with you if you want to bring it to the track and you have limited space. But obviously, when we're bringing the whole camper and setup and stuff like that, I love having the power wash. And I think everybody at the event that saw us rocking the power washers I think they were pretty impressed.
Yes, we got a bunch. I mean, the gauntlet that I was going back and looking at some old photos. I just said old. It's only been a month and a half or so. But actually, so I ran in. So I was having I'm going to have a new hot water tank put in my house, and my everything down here is down in the basement, which the hot water tank's down here. And the guy saw my RC collection. He's like, I just met with a guy who had a big RC collection. He said he was going out of town for an event. And I said, was it Michigan? He's like, yes. He's like, was it by Grand Rapids? And I said, yeah, it was. So it's just funny how, somebody who is not in the hobby, doesn't really know anything about RC, just kind of connects that and just kind of connects the dots. And here it is, a service person comes in the house and sees what you're doing and kind of connects with somebody else. I don't know who this other person was. So if you're watching, let me know. Yeah. It was like Eco Plumbers was no sponsorship shout out, but was the guy who came over. So just curious to see if anyone watched the show. But yeah, so like Adam was saying, ultrasonic cleaner. So I'm going ahead and putting, I've got a full capper axle in this guy. Oh, I'm spilling my stuff. Awesome. So yeah, full capper axle in here. So it's so large, I can put tons of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and put my third member cover in here. I'm going to put in my center diff. I'm going to put in bearings. I'm just going to go ahead and load this thing up since I've got the extra room. I'll probably do a flip of the axles. I'll probably run it through like 2 different cycles, but here I've got it on. You can kind of see the water kind of getting, or the chemical kind of getting agitated a little bit. But yeah, the thing works fantastic. And it's plenty big. And the nice thing about the stainless steel basin one is it's supposed to take, the beating from all of these degreasing chemicals. So that stainless steel, obviously, does anybody know what stainless steel does? That's, it's what medical instruments are made of. So it's meant to take that abuse, and it's going to be better for it. And it's a larger basin, compared to the other one. So it's my go-to. Plus, you got that extra power because it's a corded system rather than a USB rechargeable. The USB rechargeable one is great for, I'll call it light greased parts that you need to degrease and clean, and also portable because it's obviously battery operated. This thing is, I would say, less portable. So I use this one at my home, and then the one that's kind of over here to my right, which is the USB rechargeable, I use that at the events.
Yeah, I love using both, and just keep in mind that the steel basin one requires a plug. You have to have your own power supply and all that stuff. So a lot of people were asking about the differences between the two, and it's definitely good to know. And there's application for each. I love using them both, and you know what? I have the USB one. I'll run it a half hour straight and just straight up beat on it. And then as soon as the one thing's done, I'll just run it for a little bit, and you'll actually feel the temperature in the unit itself starting to warm up, which is pretty funny because you're beating on it when. somebody was asking about the mixture. So for me, because I'm not as sponsored as Tyler, but I usually fill mine right up to the 0.5 with the concentrate. So what I'll do is I'll actually throw the concentrate in and fill it all the way up to the 0.5, and then fill the rest up with water. And if people were at the event, I just basically carry an extra big jug of water around, and then that way I can refill as it's required, right? So it makes it so much easier just to be able to basically set up your own. Now, if you want it to be a little bit stronger, Tyler wasn't scared. He was throwing, like, I think he was going up to the first mark up here, the 0.75 or something like that. He was going hardcore, but we were definitely educating myself on what dirty actually means, because this is my kid's truggy, and believe it or not, like, all I did was I just hit it real quick with what you guys saw, the parts and chassis wash, and look at it already. Like,
that's something good,
right? And like, I really haven't done any work yet. I've been talking to you guys and talking about proper mixtures and stuff like that. The cool thing is, when you go to order the concentrate, you're only paying to ship the product. You're not paying to ship any of the other stuff. So it's definitely pretty cool. Hopefully that answers your question, Harold, for sure. John McDonald, I've always used blue Loctite. I find the blue Loctite tight. You can get the kids on grade and other stuff. Automotive grade is definitely a bit strong. I've had some issues with strip screws and had to cut some stuff out. Definitely recommend the Holmes Hobby stuff. I've had no issues with this whatsoever. And when people come by my pits and need just a little dab, because this bottle will last you a long time.
Oh yeah.
So buy it with confidence. I know they do offer the red as well, but I feel the red is a little bit too extreme.
No, I agree. And Tom had a nice tip about the rechargeable ultrasonic cleaner. You make sure you empty liquid after using. Definitely agree with that. It's always
very
good.
Important.
Make sure you get all this dirty stuff out of here. I mean, it's dirty for a reason. It's going to get, there's no reason it's going to start staining, and you just don't want that. And it's another thing you got to clean. So just dump it out. It's kind of just a habit you need to get into.
Oh, for sure. All right. So I'm just going to take this. I'm just going to do the front shocks here real quick, and I'm just going to show it close to the camera, and you can see how dirty that sucker is. Like, this thing's just trash. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the one that went through the ultrasonic cleaner. And look at that, side by side.
Oh yeah, that's a big difference.
Oh man, it's amazing. And like, what I want to show off is, like, look at just the thread alone. Everybody knows how important it is to have your thread clean so you can get the proper ride height, and having the proper thread cleared out. You're not going to have to worry about when you're tightening or loosening if the cap's coming off, because that's one thing that I noticed. People had on blood in the threads, and they were loosening off the shock cap itself. And oh my God, it was crazy. So the other thing that I wanted to show side by side, so you guys know, let me just grab a cloth here real quick. This right here is the diff that I literally just threw in. So you can see it's already starting to work its magic, right? And you can see it's starting to clean the bearings and everything. But what I wanted to show you is, look at this. This was one that I ran in the ultrasonic cleaner right before the show, and you can see how clean that is. And now what you want to do is you want to take your yellow Moose Slick, the one for the ultra thin oil with PTFE.
Yes, right here.
Yes, sir. Use that to re-lubricate your disc. Now, obviously, I got the center one in the sonic cleaner right now, but I use this stand, and this helps me keep all my kids' kits organized. My son's is blue, my daughter's is purple, and mine's red. That way, I know what springs came off of theirs. I got the center, the front and rear diffs all completely separated. That way there's no guesswork. And especially when you have multiple kits pulled apart, you could get lost real quick, especially when you're at a big event like PNB and stuff like that, and you have to be out for the next qualifying round. You don't want to put your diffs in backwards. Trust me. I've seen
4 in the morning.
Oh, dude, it's just horrible. So you want to make sure you have that in check for sure.
Yeah, so Vinny had a question. He was asking about, do we added water with the Muclean part and chassis wash? And the answer is yes. And I think Adam kind of started talking about that a little bit, about what mixture you're using. And so, yeah, so like what I do, Vinny, is I already have all of mine pre-mixed. So I make different bottles of it. So like I'd say the rule of thumb for me is like a 7-to-1 water to Muclean part and chassis wash ratio, concentrate, that is. I might go heavier on some stuff. I might go lighter. So I'll have different bottles. And so what I do is I pre-mix that. That way I can measure it and make sure it's the way I want it. And then I will use that to pour that mixture into the ultrasonic cleaner. So now some people I know will kind of eyeball it, and they'll pour some concentrate in it, and then they'll pour some water. To each their own. It just depends on how exact you want to get. And the reason I do different things is because like this mixture is a heavier mixture, because this vehicle hasn't been cleaned and probably every bit of a year. And it's been sitting for a while. So to me, it's like I need to make sure it's really clean. So I'm going to make sure it's got a higher concentrate of the part and chassis wash compared to something I'm just cleaning a body with, or a lightly dusted chassis.
Hey, we got over 57 people watching right now. I think we need to do the hashtag, dude. I think
yes, and I mean, and frankly, I'm kind of at a good stopping point, for where I was at, because I cleaned everything and I was about ready to get into the lubrication. But I think we might save that for the next episode and kind of redo a reassembly for the next episode.
Yeah, because I was about ready to show off the hide wipes and stuff like that, and how easy it is to clean the body. And I always use a clean one on the body and kind of transition into the dirtier parts so I can better utilize the hide wipe. But here, let's bring up the other thing here.
Yes, Mike. So yes, before you're gluing your tires, you do want to use the cleaner and degreaser on your wheel beads and your tire beads. So take a microfiber towel and spray it, with the cleaner degreaser, and just kind of like lightly rub. Just take this and then just kind of rub those tires, rub the wheel bead, and let it dry for a minute. So that's about all it takes, and then that way you can get a nice clean glue bead on it. It works. I mean, I remember when
it works. I
got in the hobby and gluing sucked. I hated it. I was horrible at it. And once you understand that, you think a brand new tire and wheel is going to be clean. They're not, because they have mold release agents all over them. And who knows how long they've been sitting in that bag. So it makes your job so much easier.
Yeah, and I will get into that next episode as well. I actually have the tires over here.
Oh, good.
Just to show these guys, here, let me remove this. Everybody know I made the hashtag super easy for today, because holy cow. I can't believe that we're up on the time already. You guys made this episode awesome.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
If you guys look, so I had Nathan Struggy there, ultrasonic cleaner there. And this is what I was going to show you guys, with the reassembly and lube for the bearings. We actually have the solder mat and station here ready to show off electronics with the Blue Clean electronics and degreaser, and the tire wash station all set up here ready to rock and roll. But we didn't even have a chance to get off the first table.
It's a good problem to have sometimes.
Yes, no, you guys killed it with the comments and definitely made the show fly by. I can't believe we're up on the hour already.
Yeah, this is going to be really nice. So I mean, it's a great process to go through. Like Adam and I are doing, and hopefully I know some of you guys are doing, just watching the show. Watch your favorite YouTube show, and wrench on your stuff, clean them up. It's a have to. You really have to do it. I mean, the CowRC products, and I'll speak for the crawler side of it. CowRC products are great, and they're going to last a long time. You take what I'm working with here. It's been sitting for a while. It had 100% CowRC products on it. but it wasn't up to what it needed to be, because all the gears weren't 100% covered. It had dirt in it. I had gunk built into the lubrication. So they all need attention. And it's, the CowRC products are there to make, for one, good performance, right? So it's going to make your vehicle perform really well. It's going to have a lot of longevity. So you're not going to have to every time, take it apart and re-lubricate it, but nothing lasts forever, right? So you always want to make sure that you're going through, depending on how much you're using it and how badly are you beating on it. Are you running through mud all the time? Are you running through water all the time? That affects the longevity of these products too. So you just have to kind of use some sense on what you're doing and experiment with it, because you're going to take a vehicle and it's really, you're going to know what works best for your vehicle.
Yeah, because it obviously for racing, it's going to be like after every race event.
Right.
I would hope that you would go through your vehicle, properly maintain it, and give it the love it deserves, and then you'll have better results because of that. Now, the people on Instagram, I seen Steve, a couple other, I can't even pronounce their names. You guys have really weird names on Instagram, but the funniest one, D's Nuts 89 TH, joined in slow flow. Definitely have to come over to either Facebook or the YouTube channel to comment to get in on the CowTech giveaway. So tonight we are actually giving away a CowTech t-shirt. And I think the other thing we should probably give away is a concentrate parts and chassis wash, because we both use that.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll do the parts and chassis wash first, just to give a whole bunch of people some time to get it going. Oh, Corey, yes, Belleville. I am going to Belleville this year. I was talking about it earlier in the show with the Buzz Brawl and the other events that they have. Looking forward to it. S-Works has a new two-wheel drive buggy, so I will be building that and getting it ready.
Nice.
But looking forward to racing with you guys again this winter. So I found that setting my bearings up vertically after putting the ultra-thin oil in them helps keep the grease from leaking out the other side of the bearing seal. So funny thing is about that, Mr. Ghost, I did a little test because I was tasked to, and I couldn't believe the results. I took a 2x2 cardboard piece of thing. So it was about 2 inches by 2 inches. And I literally put an eye drop of the ultra thin oil on there. And by the time I got back later in the day, that whole cardboard was saturated just by that one drop. It is an amazing process and it'll definitely seep into the most tight tolerances you can imagine. And I think you guys seen that with our demonstration when we were trying to show you getting through the steel seals. It was pretty cool. So we're going to bring up the CowTech thing and try to give something away. I need a new two-wheel drive buggy. John, it is going to drop by the end of this month. It is going to be
very cool.
One of those epic things. So definitely check them out. All right. So we got 40 entries in, which is weird because we got 57 people viewing. And like I said, everybody on the Instagram account, you cannot comment there. I do apologize for that. So we are going to give away a concentrate first. And good luck, everybody. Here we go. Who's it going to be?
So the Moo Clean Part and Chassis Wash. Fish and Bill.
Oh man. He's been
a long-time viewer.
Epic builds lately too, man. I was hyping him up a little bit earlier in the show. Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations, Bill. You know how to get a hold of us?
Yes, sir. There we go. We got a few more people jumping in there. Okay, this is going to be Joseph. For the shirt. I know everybody wants a shirt, so good luck, everybody. Here we go.
Brian. Okay, I think Brian has won before. Very cool.
Yeah, been a while, but congratulations to all the winners. Brian or Bishop Bill. Yeah, reach out to me and Tyler. The easiest way to get through to us is obviously through Facebook Messenger. If you don't have that, definitely jump on any of the other socials and try and reach out. But I do believe that they have one before, so it should be pretty easy to get a hold of us. And man, I can't wait to actually. This run session was a lot of fun, guys.
Yeah, I liked it.
Definitely appreciate it, and I cannot wait to show off the results of all this. Like, I don't know if you can hear my sonic cleaner still buzzing in the background. We got a whole bunch of other products that we can go through and show off. We didn't even get to the results with the axles, the pillow balls, all the graphite that we had set up, but we will definitely make sure you guys join us in 2 short weeks.
Yes.
Episode. Yeah, I had it all set up here, pre-shook, pre-done, pre-everything, ready to rock and roll here. This is my new dirty table. I definitely love that. My daughter dug it out of the shop for me, and definitely appreciate her doing that for her dear old dad. But like I said, episode 100 closing in fast. I know, man. It's gonna be awesome.
Make sure you guys tune in next week. We're gonna probably wrap up our disassembling, our maintenance builds here. Add some lubrication to it and kind of reassemble everything. And that way we'll start getting into the charity build, reveal that new vehicle and how we're going to give them away.
I can't wait, man. I'm super excited for this one, and I think you guys will be too. We will see you in 2 short weeks. Bye for now.
See you, everybody.